Alright guys, come with me to upgrade my CPU for absolutely no reason. So I had a 7800X 3D, and I am upgrading to the latest and greatest 9850X 3D. For absolutely no reason, by the way. If you are like me and you have a 7800X 3D, there's absolutely no reason to switch off of it. I just felt like doing it, so here we are. By the way, here are the specs of my PC currently so that you can get an idea of all of the other parts. I am planning to upgrade my GPU when next gen comes around, probably to like a 6080 if those ever do end up coming out. Not sure with AI and stuff going on right now if Nvidia is going to do that, but so yeah, I recorded some little gameplay just to compare the FPS roughly between the two CPUs here. I wasn't expecting like a huge FPS boost from upgrading, obviously, because I think the 9850X 3D is only like 10% better than the 7800X 3D, and that's like at 1080p too, and I play on 1440p. But either way, here it is. In the range on my 7800X 3D, I'm like around 1000 FPS without any bot spawned, and then you can see when I spawn in bots, it drops a little bit there. And here's Fortnite. In both tests, I try to go to the same spot and kind of do the same thing, but obviously, like, this isn't super scientific here. I couldn't be bothered to download any benchmark tools and actually do, like, a proper benchmark, but there's plenty of them on YouTube if you want to watch. This is just kind of like me going off the vibes and just kind of making this video for fun, but also to kind of recoup the losses of me stupidly purchasing this CPU for no reason. So if you could, you know, drop a like, turn off your ad block type shit, that'd be cool. So yeah, I'm landing in Wonky Land, which is an interesting name here. And you can see 7800X 3D. FPS is looking really solid. Like I said, I did not have any reason to upgrade my CPU, but we're getting like 500, 600 FPS on the highs, and then like the lows. I'm assuming the 1% lows are going to be a little bit better on the 9850X 3D, but we'll see. I actually haven't even looked at the numbers yet. But yeah, my lows are like, you know, dipping down to like 200s at times. But overall, I mean, it's solid performance. All right, now comes the actual fun part of installing the CPU, which was pretty easy. It only took me like 15 minutes to do. I think the hardest part was taking out this big ass Noctua cooler that I have. But yeah, if you need help swapping a CPU, don't watch this video. Go watch Linus Tech Tips or something. But basically, I just take out the GPU to make it easier to work around the case. And then I unplug the CPU cooler fan. And then you want to make sure you clean your thermal paste really well. I use just some rubbing alcohol, like some isopropyl alcohol, and I spray it onto a paper towel. I think it's better to spray it onto the paper towel rather than spraying it directly on the cooler and the CPU, obviously. So spray it on your paper towel, get it wet a little bit, and then just wipe the thermal paste off, and it should come off really easily. And then I really like this Noctua thermal paste. Honestly, the most nerve-wracking part is putting in the new CPU, just making sure you get it aligned properly before you push the lever down. You don't want to bend any pins on your motherboard because that would really suck. So yeah, you just line up the little triangle in the corner, put in the new CPU, push the latch down, make sure it's all nice and secure, and then you just put a little pea-sized amount of thermal paste on there, screw your cooler back on, and if you have this Noctua cooler, make sure you plug in the fan first before you actually mount the cooler. It makes your life a lot easier, because if you try to plug in the fan afterwards, you're like working around really tight spaces, and it just makes your life a lot easier if you plug in the fan first. Yeah, really straightforward to install. Alright, and here is a little side-by-side comparison of the two. There actually is a noticeable difference, and also with the 9850X 3D, I did do a fresh install of Windows after I installed the CPU as well. So yeah, you can see right there, like even with the bot spawned in and without, there's a clear difference. When the bots are spawned in, you can kind of tell even more. On the 7800X 3D, it dips down to 600 FPS at times, whereas on the 9850, it is pretty much consistently over 800 with bots spawned in. Same thing here with Fortnite. There's actually a very noticeable difference in terms of FPS, both highs and lows, which is pretty interesting to see. Obviously, it's not like a huge difference, but you can see that the lows are better on the 9850X 3D, which technically will give a smoother gaming experience, which is nice. Or maybe that's just me trying to cope with the money I wasted. But yeah, hopefully this side-by-side kind of gives you an idea of the difference in performance between the 7800X 3D and the 9850X 3D. I feel like this purchase would have been worth it if I was still on my Zowie 600Hz monitor, but I'm only on 360Hz right now, so I can't really even make use of all of these extra frames that I got. But either way, it is nice seeing a big number on the FPS counter because everyone knows that higher FPS equals better aim. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.